morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to be taking a little bit of a look at a brand new Spiritomb card, which is going to be coming out in Sun and Moon 2A. Rebellion Crash over in Japan. This has been revealed over on the official YouTube, translated by the lovely Antoine Boulet. And if we start off with the basics, I actually really like the 60 HP. Because 60 HP means you can search it out with Professor Round's lecture, which is not something you can say of most of the Spiritomb. I mean, the most recent ones that came out in Team Up and Unbroken Bonds, they're quite nice. But the Team Up one, can't search it with Professor Round. Unbroken Bonds one, to be fair, you can. So it sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. This is a good kind. Retreat cost of 2 is less than ideal, but we do have that air balloon card, which will give it free retreat, so that's not too bad. But it has a weakness to grass. And Spiritomb generally doesn't have weakness. The one from Team Up didn't have a weakness. The one from Unbroken Bonds didn't have a weakness. So actually, bringing out a Spiritomb card with a weakness now is kind of weak, if I'm honest with you. And if I remember correctly, and I'm just doing a little bit of double checking here, this is the first Spiritomb we have ever had that has a weakness. And I know that they've mixed up weakness and resistance a bit now that Sword and Shield is out, but come on! This ain't cool, ladies and gentlemen. This ain't cool. Never mind. You are a Darkness Pokemon, so you can use Black Market Prism Star to mean that you don't give up a prize, and it means that you can use Weavile to move your energy around, etc., etc. But what does it actually do? Well, according to the lovely Antoine Boulet, the first attack, for 1 Darkness Energy, both players discard the top card of their deck. It's alright. I mean, this isn't the kind of attack you want to be focusing an entire deck around. I mean, it's even objectively worse most of the time than that Guzzlord. The one, I mean, it's a really nice Guzzlord, the one that came out in Cosmic Eclipse, that on a basic Pokemon for a single energy discards the top card of your opponent's deck. You might get lucky and hit something really important, but most of the time, it's an I've got nothing else, I might as well. It's alright, it's fine. It's not a reason to get terribly excited about the card. But you see, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a second attack here, which absolutely is a reason to get excited about the card. 1 Darkness, 1 Colorless Energy, Mortified Drop. Place damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon equal to the number of Pokemon in your discard pile. Oh. Yeah, that's quite a lot nicer, ladies and gentlemen. That's quite a lot nicer. And this can get big. And there's no limit on this one. There's no, you cannot do more than 200 damage this way kind of thing. It is just a straightforward, ordinary, everyday, it's not even an everyday thing, it's actually quite, but you know what I mean. It's just as many Pokemon as you can get in the discard, and then that's how many damage counters you're putting on your opponent's active Pokemon. This is really, really nice. Now, yes, you've got to get a whole bunch of stuff in the discard. You've got to pile your Pokemon in there. Okay. But as long as you can, yes. All of the yes. So really what we need to try and do here is just discard as many Pokemon as we possibly can and go nuts. It is basically Vespiquen. And I am a man that loves Vespiquen. I've told the story on this channel very, very often, but I went to the European Challenge Cup in 2014. It was the largest tournament in Europe at the time, and I took a 5th place finish with Flareon, which was basically the same as Vespiquen. Now, it's not exactly the same as Vespiquen. Vespiquen was 20 plus 10 for each Pokemon in your discard. This is just 10 for each Pokemon in your discard. However, it is dropping damage counters rather than doing damage. So any Pokemon that blocked damage, you would still be able to go through here. So it's a nice little bonus. But really, it's Vespiquen. It's back again. And this is awesome. So the only real questions we've got here are, how do we get the Pokemon in the discard pile, and how do we get the energy on? Now, in terms of the energy, obviously Vespiquen and Flareon just used double colourless energy, and it was extremely easy. You whack double colourless energy on there, and that's just paid in one go. You don't have this. To be fair, you do actually have twin energy. The problem is twin energy won't pay this. It's a darkness and a colourless. Now, if you're behind on prizes, might I suggest using Counter Game? Because that will reduce your attack cost by 1. Otherwise, you've got so many options here. Put in a 1-1 Malamar line, because remember, it's 1 darkness, 1 colourless. So you whack in a 1-1 Malamar line. If you get 1 Malamar out, you just accelerate a Psychic Energy, and then you're going. You can use the Tapu Koko trip that I seem to be the only one in the world that's actually fond of, outside of a lightning deck, of course, where you just get 2 Spiritomb on the bench and you Lost Zone Tapu Koko and get 2 lightning energy, 1 to each of 2 bench Spiritomb, and then you go in that regard. Any energy acceleration whatsoever will work out very, very nicely indeed here. I'm not worried about the energy cost. And in terms of getting Pokemon in the discard, I think we've pretty much got better options than we've had for an incredibly long time. Don't forget we're all using Quick Ball at the moment, which you search a basic Pokemon, but only after discarding a card from your hand. In terms of gusting options, you can just play Great Catcher, whereby you discard 2 cards from your hand and then gust a GX into the active. One I really like is Duskull. Now, this is the Duskull that came out in Cosmic Eclipse, and it says that once during your turn, you may discard 3 cards from your hand. If you do, search your deck for a card that evolves from this Pokemon and put it onto this Pokemon to evolve it. But because it is if you do search your deck, and your deck is private, it means that you can just discard 3 cards from your hand. And then you search your deck, and you actually can get some benefit from searching your deck, see what's in there, count up some things, sort out your prizes, etc. By sort out, I mean figure out what's prized. Don't cheat, that's naughty. So that's quite nice. And let's not forget the Spiritomb from Team Up, that's got the attack Spirit Compressor, 1 colourless energy. Search your deck for up to 4 Pokemon and discard them. So certainly I'm probably playing 1 of those Spiritomb, although you can only play 4 in total, so it is a big decision. But if you play 1 of these Spiritomb, you can just be discarding a bunch of Pokemon, and then when it gets knocked out, that will activate Counter Game, and you can potentially really get going here. I mean, okay, there are VMAXs at the moment, like Snorlax, where you're unlikely to get a 1-hit KO. But anyone that played Vespiquen back in the day will know that you could get around to 1-hit KOing Mega Pokemon. It wasn't necessarily easy, but I've played a lot of Vespiquen in my time, and I've knocked out a few Mega Rayquaza, and that came in with 220 HP. So I don't see it as that unrealistic that you would be able to one-shot a Zacian using this. Certainly one-shotting something like a Dedenne shouldn't be out of the ordinary. This seems like it could really genuinely work. This is the kind of Pokemon that I look at it and go, yeah, that's a Wassy deck. I want to make that deck. This is the kind of Pokemon that I'm going to play. And at this stage, we need to mention the Zoroark from Team Up that hasn't been good enough but might be now. Because for 1 Darkness 2 colourless energy, 20 damage for each Pokemon in your discard pile up to 200 damage. Well, we've got Twin Energy, which will work beautifully with Zoroark. And if you're discarding Pokemon anyway, you might as well play Zoroark. It can always be discard fodder. And let's not forget we got Professor's Research now, which lets you discard your hand and draw 7 cards. And honestly, right, between Professor's Research, Quick Ball and Great Catcher, you should have all the discarding you need from your trainer cards. Add in a Duskull or 2 and you can basically just always discard Pokemon from your hand. And then all you need to do is pay the slightly awkward but really not that bad energy cost, and all of a sudden you're doing great damage. Now, as with all single prize decks at the moment, there is the possibility that Zacian just uses ADP to start taking 2 prizes off of your Pokemon, but hopefully by that point you're getting 1-hit KOs anyway, so it doesn't really matter. The energy cost puts me off a tiny bit. It really would be, well, it'd be too good if it was a double colourless, if I'm honest with you, like Vespiquen and Flareon were. But make no mistake about it, I love this and I'm giving it 4 Wassies. I think this could work, and the fact of the matter is, Flareon was good, and Vespiquen was good. And okay, we don't have Battle Compressor, which lets you discard 3 cards from your deck. That would be awesome. For anyone wondering about whether we're ever going to get a Battle Compressor reprint, that is one of my cards that I feel very confident they'll never print again. Sorry about that. But I do think we got enough tricks to make this work, and I am extremely excited to go and play this card. But I'd like to know how you feel. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Wassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassiePlays, where you can find out about a whole bunch of games that don't have Pokemon in, but are still pretty gosh darned awesome. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.